Theology 120, Week 4. Let's begin with defining the term mercy. Mercy stems from the Latin word Misericordia, which means to have pity from the heart, to be moved in regard to the suffering of others. Adding to the definition, St. Augustine states, "What is mercy but a fellow feeling for another's misery, which prompts us to help him if we can?" Mother Teresa asked her local bishop, "What can I say to these people who've suffered so much? How can I tell them of God's love?" His response, "Don't try to tell them about God's love. Be God's love." In his text, Real Mercy, Father Jacques Philippe offers this insight. The Lord's mercy is always at work, forgiving trespasses, healing wounds, repairing hearts, and undoing life's snags that are inevitable through our human frailty. According to Father Philippe, there are 4 conditions for welcoming the mercy of God: trust, humility and poverty of spirit, gratitude, and forgiveness. During Week 7, we will go into greater depth on the issue of forgiveness, but for now, it's a letting go of the victim of vengeance towards the abuser. In addition, Father Philippe continues to examine the relationship in Real Mercy between justice and mercy through the gospel lens of the parable of the Prodigal Son. For those of you not familiar with this biblical story, I will have a link above and in the description box below to that account. Father Philippe stresses that within this parable, the older brother doesn't accept the mercy of the father toward his sinful younger brother. Why? Because of his own sense of justice. When the blessings befall the sinful younger brother, there's a sense of injustice, and somehow the older brother's rights have been taken away. Kerry Weber's Mercy in the City presents us with a practical approach toward living out the spirit of Catherine McCauley's Mercy Charism in everyday life. For those of you interested in learning more about the Mercy Charism, I will have a link above and in the description box below to the presentation on the Sisters of Mercy in the Americas. Within your readings for this week, Kerry Weber's Mercy in the City cites the famous quotation by Mother Catherine McCauley, "Mercy, the principal path pointed out by Jesus Christ to those who desire to follow him, has in all ages excited the faithful to instruct and comfort the sick and dying poor, and in them they find the person of our divine Lord." Throughout your readings this week, Kerry Weber will stress that God challenges us to commit to a lifestyle, a lifetime of mercy. Each act is not an isolated incident, but part of a process. Providing us with a rich bridge between Father Jacques Philippe's text Real Mercy and Kerry Weber's book Mercy in the City is the Encyclical of John Paul II, Dives et Misericordia, which means God who is rich in mercy. Within his 3rd paragraph, Pope John Paul II stresses that through Jesus' lifestyle and through his actions, Jesus Christ revealed that love is present in the world in which we live, an effective love, a love that addresses itself to man and embraces everything that makes up his humanity. This love makes itself particularly noticed in contact with suffering, injustice, and poverty, in contact with the whole historical human condition, which in various ways manifests man's limitation and frailty, both physical and moral. Within paragraph number 5, Pope John Paul II addresses the parable of the prodigal son. In the parable of the prodigal son, the term justice is not used even once, just as in the original text the term mercy is not used either. Nevertheless, the relationship between justice and love, that is manifested as mercy, is inscribed with great exactness in the content of the gospel parable. It becomes more evident that love is transformed into mercy when it is necessary to go beyond the precise norm of justice, precise and often too narrow. In the spirit of Kerry Weber's Mercy in the City text and her own personal Lenten journey, This week's podcast assignment will have you choose amongst 3 mercy path options. The first is embracing vulnerability, where you would connect Dr. Brené Brown's work with Pope Francis's message. The second option is facing fears, where you would take a personal journey through overcoming a fear. And the third is rehabilitation and seeing Christ in others, where you would analyze a program that rehabilitates rather than incarcerates youth in light of John Paul II's Encyclical Redemptor Hominis, which means the Redeemer of Man. Similar to week 2, you will be required to have an audio file as well as a script file posted to the Dropbox by the following Monday. And in the words of Catherine Macaulay, let us take one day only in hands at a time, resolve to do good today and better tomorrow.